सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, from mantra number 7, Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Vibhum. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Vibhum.
उमा सहायं परमेश्वरं विभुम्।
Prabhum here, okay. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum.
उमा सहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुम्।
Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam.
त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तम्।
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्।
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्।
स ब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः
स ब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः।
सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट्
सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट्।
स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः
स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः।
स कालोऽग्निः स चन्द्रमाः
स कालोऽग्निः स चन्द्रमाः।
स एव सर्वं यद्भूतम्
स एव सर्वं यद्भूतम्।
यच्च भव्यं सनातनम्
यच्च भव्यं सनातनम्।
ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमत्येति
ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमत्येति।
नान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये
नान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये।
सर्वभूतस्तमात्मानम्
सर्वभूतस्तमात्मानं।
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि
सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि।
सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमम्
सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमम्।
याति नान्येन हेतुना
याति नान्येन हेतुना।
कृत्वा
आत्मानमरणिं कृत्वा
प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिम्
प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिम्
ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात्.
ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात्.
Two readings are there here now. Papam dahati panditaha and pasham dahati panditaha. Two words are there. We are going to use the word pasham. Pasham dahati panditaha.
पाशं दहति पण्डितः.
Once again. Atmanamaranim kritva.
आत्मानमरणिं कृत्वा
Pranavam chottaranim.
प्रणवं चोत्तरारणिम्
Jnana nirmathanabhyasat.
ज्ञाननिर्मथनाभ्यासात्.
पाशं दहति पंडितः.
पाशं दहति पण्डितः.
So we are in shloka number 11, which begins with Atmanam Aranim Kritva.
Guruji, sloka number 10, we didn't do the translation.
We did not do the translation. Okay, good. Let's do that now. So translation of the mantra: Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmani. Number 10. One reaches Brahma, one reaches Brahman, comma, the ultimate, comma, clearly seeing one's own self in all beings, clearly seeing one's own self in all beings, and all beings in one's own self. Hyphen, not by any other means. Not by any other means. Once again, one reaches Brahman, the ultimate, clearly seeing one's own self in all beings and all beings in one's own self, not by any other means. So, until now, the topics that were covered are, so in shloka number 2, mantra number 2, in one, after the student approached the teacher in a short phrase said, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Avaihi. So that is the sadhana, Avaihi. May you understand that. Understand this through Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. That's what he said. And there we have room to interpret that word. Shraddha can be interpreted as Shraddha itself. Bhakti is interpreted as Bhakti itself. And Dhyana Yoga can be interpreted as dhyanam. And somewhere you have to bring jnanam. The word jnanam is not there. So you can bring jnanam under bhakti, because under bhakti yoga in Bhagavad Gita, what did we do? We said bhakti. Bhakti is everything that is needed for moksha. Okay, and that includes jnanam also. And Shankaracharya's statement from Viveka Chudamani came in handy. Okay, moksha karana samagryam bhaktireva gariyasi. Among all the things available that you can think of, bhakti is greatest. Swaswarupa anusandhanam bhakti ritya vidhiyate. That recognition of the nature of oneself, the real nature of oneself, that is bhakti. That means from Advaita Bhakti, I must build until I come to Advaita Bhakti. That is the meaning of that. Correct? So, Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana means Nididhyasana. Shraddha is the beginning process. Everything begins with Shraddha. Because we come into the Shastra without really knowing what the Shastra is. Hey, it is there, it is important, and it is sacred. And everybody has to somehow or the other come to the Shastra. And that's how we all came into this. And somebody, parents, it has come through parents or from Swamijis, from other Acharyas, it has just come, or through friends also it must have come. So, that is Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Tavehi. Then, na karmana na prajaya. Some more ideas are given. Karma versus jnanam was given. And then Parimuchyanti sarve Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitartaha, introducing the idea of Jnanam through Vedanta. Okay. Then suddenly switches to this Dhyanam. Vivikta Deshe Sukhasanastaha. So more sadhanam. Brahma Vidya sadhanam. So na karmana na prajaya, then jnanena eva. Then some more ideas about Brahma Swarupam. Sa Brahma, sa Shiva Sendraha. Brahman is that which is manifest as everything. It is manifest as the entire universe, including the Devatas and including all of us also. Like that idea is given in the 8th mantra. Brahman is the past, present, and future. Okay? Which means anything you can think of. It doesn't allow us to come up with any exceptions. Without any exception, everything is Brahma. And mantra number 10 also talks about the nature of Brahma. And Sampashyan Brahma Paramam Yati. Paramam Brahma Yati. The person gains Brahma. Means the person gains the infinite. We cannot rest content unless there is no difference between me and the infinite. In a moment of joy, there is no division at all. There is absolutely no division. All this karta, karma, kriya, karma phalam, all this bheda and all is there, but that bheda vanishes in a moment of joy. The moment of joy vanishes. I don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. It is just pure joy. Then Dvaita comes back. After the period of joy is over, then I'm aware of Dvaita. So Advaita is the final. That's what he's saying. Paramam Brahma Yati, reaches Paramam Brahma. This is karma, that Brahma Vidya Phalam. Brahma Vidya Sadhanam, Brahma Vidya Swarupam, the nature of Brahma Vidya, briefly, and then Brahma Vidya Phalam periodically was said. And now, Atmanam Aranim Kritva. So, how that vichara has to be done is being talked about. And the mantras are all in Upanishad, mantras are generally cryptic. On top of that, this Upanishad is so short. At least Yamadharma Raja, he had a lot. He had two adhyayas, and each adhyaya had 3 vallis. And so 6 vallis were there. Okay, some 120 mantras were there. So they cleared a lot of room. 120 is a lot. And for an Upanishad. And here, not that much room. So, here, this Mahavakya Vichara is starting. Mahavakyam, Tattvamasi, for example, that Vichara is starting. Through this mantra, from 11 onwards, it goes. In Vivek Chodamani, he had said, same thing. He followed the same process, and the person discovers herself to be an adhikari, prepared. Then this one, Samasadya Daya Sindhum Gurum Brahma Viduduttamam. So approach the Guru and then getting ready to ask what it is that you want. All that we saw. So here also, Athashvalayanaha, that was started before. And now this Vichara is starting. Shravanam. Vichara means Shravanam. It starts with Shravanam. Because I don't know what to think. I must have some material must be there to think about. Must be there. And so for that I get through Shravanam. Shravanam only tells me what is all this about. What am I really seeking? I don't know really what I'm seeking, but clarity comes through Shravanam. And so what is earlier we said, Shravanam means Avarana Nivritti. Avarana Nivritti. Means what? Hey, I have wrong ideas about myself and about life and about things in general. And definitely about moksha, I have wrong ideas. And so those wrong ideas, removal of those wrong ideas is called Shravanam. Or Shravanam results in the removal of wrong ideas. And literally we say listening. Listening to somebody. Shrotriyaha Brahmanishtaha. Okay. But then there is another technical definition for Shravanam. And that is Upakramadi Shadlingaihi Vedantanam Advaite Brahmani Tatparya Nischayaha. Alright, let me explain that. Vedantanam means of all Vedanta texts, Vedantanam Advaite Brahmani Tatparya Nischayaha. Hey, I must get some clarity about what is Vedanta, and then all the Vedanta texts, what is it that it is talking about? That clarity I must have. And what is that clarity? Tatparya Nischaya. Nischaya. Ascertainment of the Tatparya. Tatparya means what is the final message of Kaivalya Upanishad? What is the final message of the Mundaka Upanishad? What is the final message of the Bhagavad Gita? What is the final message of Shankaracharya's text? If somebody asks, then while listening we get that Tatparya, the Tatparya Nischaya. And where is it culminating? Advaite Brahmani. Vedantanam Advaite Brahmani Tatparya Nischayaha. Yeah, that is Shravana. And there is one more. Upakramadi Shadlingaihi. How do I get this? Upakramadi Shadlingaihi. Okay, I'm listening. I've been listening all these years. But then how do I come to that conclusion? There is a process for that. That is described by these words. Upakramadi Shadlingaihi. So because we are studying Upanishad, and because many of you have been studying for a while and now giving more and more information, more and more details about these things. And Upakramadi. So there is a particular shloka which tells all the attributes of a particular text. Okay. Upakramopasamharo abhyaso purvata phalam. Don't write now, just listen. Upakramopasamharo abhyaso purvata phalam. Arthavadopapatti cha lingam tatparya nirnaye. So, a text is there. And a text should be organized in a particular format. It must have certain key contents. Okay, so that when you and I read the text, we will see, oh, I see, this is the message of this text. And how should it be organized? What are the key elements of the text? Upakramopasamhara. Upakrama and upasamhara. It must first tell me what is a abstract must be there. Abstract. Every book must talk about foreword is there. Okay. Introduction is there. Those are all called upakramaha. And even before introduction, you have to tell me. I can't read the entire introduction chapter to figure out what it is you're talking about. You have to tell me in one page, sometimes even one paragraph. What is this book about? And you're standing in the airport and you picked up a book from that bookstore, and what are you going to read? You're not you're not going to keep doing this 300 pages 300 pages. No, that won't help you. You look at the back page, front page, back page, and then back page there is some things. Some big famous people have said something about this book. Okay, that's a good way to know. I see. Oh, Rajiv Malhotra is also there. Okay. Oh, David Frawley is there, and some names. Sanjeev Sanyal is there, and all these books are there. And then you turn to the front, and there is a topic, and then you go inside. What is the summary? What is the brief? What is the foreword? What is it? What does it say? That is called upakrama. Upasamhara, conclusion. Conclusion also must be consistent with the uh, abstract. Upakrama, upasamhara. Upakramopasamharo, abhyaso, purvata, phalam. Abhyasaha. Abhyasaha means repetition. Repetition. The important elements of the text must be repeated again and again. It should come back because tatparya nischayaha, that is called abhyasaha. They repeat it. Not that you keep boring the audience with repeating the same message, but you should remind the audience that okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. Abhyasaha. So abhyasa is a linga, shad linga. These are all 6 lingas. Lingas means indications. Indications. And so anything, an idea that is repeated indicates to us that that's an important idea. Otherwise, why should you repeat an idea if it is not important? And you keep that on the side and say, okay, this is the message. Maybe the message is being repeated. Maybe that is the message of this book. Okay. Abhyasaha. Apurvata. 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 Purva means it was told before. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, then you don't need a book. Then you don't need a book. Something is new about this particular text. That is called Apurvata. There's something I can learn, people can learn from this book. All right, Apurvata. Phalam. Abhyaso. Purvata. Phalam. Phalam. Phalam means what do I get by reading this book? Please tell me. Will I get anything out of it? It has to be, I should feel gratified. I should feel fulfilled. I should feel empowered. I should feel like I got something out of this book. After studying this, I am now better off. Better off means what? Okay, that is called phalam. Phalam must be clear. When I read this, what the book should say, the author should say, it is meant for the following audiences. Correct? And all the clarity the author should give, because author is the guy who's thinking about this. He knows everything. Just like Ghatakarta, Ghataknyaha, the one who's about to make the pot knows everything about the pot and how it is going to be used and all that he knows. Okay, like that, the writer of the book also should say, what am I writing? Where is it going to be used? Where it should be used? And other readers also, casual lay readers also can benefit. Those who are interested in Indian history can read this book. It can be used in the college textbook history courses also. Okay. You've just now applied for a grant. from the Ministry of Education. Indian Knowledge Systems Division. You won't believe all these things. We've never heard these things before. Indian government, it has a Ministry of Education, like every other government. Then they have a department called Indian Knowledge Systems Department. Bah, finally, after 70 plus years of independence, we have this department. Now they're saying, oh, we should expose our children, our youth to all this, our Indian knowledge systems. And if you look at what is Indian knowledge systems, everything is coming. All philosophy is coming. Shaddasanas are coming. And then our literature, sciences, okay, metallurgy, mathematics, physics, all everything our Indians have studied and developed long ago. That also you should teach. Like that they are saying. So there was a call for proposal to uh, to to propose writing books. So we've written a proposal to write a book on Bharatiya astronomy. Astronomy, Bharatiya astronomy. So it is well known now that our rishis, our people were masters in astronomy. Master means you can't even touch them. Like that, masters they were. And you ask them without telescopes, how did they figure out the distance between the sun and earth? Where is sun? 93 million miles. And how are you going to figure out the distance between these two? Okay. So 108 times the diameter of the sun. 108 times the diameter of the sun, and today's number is pretty close, 107.8 or something they say. Okay, so what instruments did they use? What calculations they used? Can you show me some calculations? What math? That may know a lot of math must be involved. They must know. They must be mathematicians also. Okay, all that. So this textbook is called. Now we should name a book. They have asked for a request for proposal. They have said we are going to introduce 100 courses in summer, in June, July, August. Okay, in various subjects, archaeology, literature, like this. So many subjects are there, and one of the things is astronomy. So there we are saying, okay, where are you going to introduce the courses? Undergraduate and graduate courses. Okay, so my book should be targeted towards undergraduates and graduates. So we have done all that. So our vision is going to be what? It's called a basic textbook on Bharatiya astronomy. So we proposed everything. We did the literature survey, what books are available, and they wanted us to refer to original books. Original books mean books in Sanskrit. At least one author should be able to study that original book without the help of anybody. Look at the requirements. They're not simply sitting and asking you for proposals. They also were very clear. Who should be the author? They must be faculty members. Well, gosh, or they can be faculty members of non-profit organizations. Aha. So suddenly Arsha Seva Kendram can come into the picture like that. So anyway, why I said all that? Clarity must be there. The people who want the book were very clear about where it is used, what should be its content, etc. Therefore, we should also be clear. The writer should be clear about how to lay out. They have asked for layout of chapters, complete layout. Tell me how many chapters will be there. Give us a template of a sample chapter. Okay, everything we wrote. And so that upakramopasamharau abhyaso purvata phalam arthavadopapatti cha lingam tatparya nirnaye. That is what for you follow this procedure? Tatparya nirnaye, for ascertaining what exactly the book is teaching. Okay. Shravanam is supposed to tell us that. Periodically we do Shravanam, listening. And then slowly in time, clarity will develop. Karma cannot give moksha, only Jnanam can give moksha. If somebody says, crystal clear now for me, because I've been listening to the Shastram for so many years, now I'm clear about it. Karma is finite, parichinnam, therefore karma palam has to be finite. But moksha cannot be a finite result, it is infinite. And therefore karma cannot give. Why all these things? That clarity we're getting through Shravana. All right. So here in this mantra, that process of Shravanam and Mananam is symbolized, is picturized by a particular this imagery. This imagery, Arani Mathanam, many of you will know what Arani Mathanam is. I don't have to explain. But for those who don't know, I also didn't know what Arani Mathanam was until somewhere in Kumbhabhishekam 15 years back, they were doing it. It is the method of rubbing wood against each other, wood of specific type. Okay, two pieces of wood are there, and then creating fire out of it, and then using that fire for the yaga. All the yagas should use that fire. That is the process. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a video of this Arani Mathanam. Okay, let's take a look at it. I'm going to.
ईश्वानर्तितमदोऽस्यामराजायकं भुवनानामभिश्रीः इतो जातो विश्वमिदं विचष्टे वैश्वानरो यतते सूर्येण हेलो वर्णनमो देवयज्ञेभिरीमहे वन्दे नागं विश्वसकृतानि उदन्तमन् वर्णपाशमस्मदपादमं विमध्यमत्कृष्णमायमायज्ञं प्रदेतवानाकसोदितये स्यामा
Appreciate
Okay.
the efforts taken to produce this video.
Right?
There are Agnihotris. This is happening in a particular place. In Hyderabad, I think it's happening.
Did
But-
you show this picture during Kathopanishad, or at least a picture of it? No? I seem
Yes,
to
we
I-
have seen. You have shown us
No,
Arni
you have
Mantra.
it. One of the classes you showed, Jagannathan.
Okay.
Maybe Bhagavad Gita,
All the
maybe.
pictures.
So this is the Arani Mathanam. Mathanam, because churning. What is the meaning of Mathanam? Churning, rubbing, mixing, tossing. I mean, it's just some two things are rubbing against each other. That is the Mathanam. And Arani, that word, the minute somebody says Arani Mathanam, it only means this. There is really no other meaning to this. And so there are two pieces of wood, as you can see, one at the bottom, and there is a rod which is pressed with another block. So the two pieces are what? The bottom, Adhorani, bottom Arani. Bottom Arani is made with a wood, this Ashwattha Vriksha. Urdhamolamada Shakam. Ashwatham Prahurabjayam. That Ashwattha Vriksha, a people tree. In Hindi mein bolte hain people bolke. So that people tree is wood is being used for the bottom, and the top portion is made from another tree called Shami. Shami is, it seems it's called Indian mesquite. Mesquite. And in Hindi, it is called Kejri. Kejri. Okay, some of you may have heard it. Not Kejriwal, Kejri, just Kejri. That's it. Okay. And so Shami Vriksham. That's the way
Kejriwal's
this setup
name comes
is.
from Kejri.
Acha, comes from Kejri. See?
Yeah, it's it's quite common in Rajasthan, the Kejri tree.
Kejri tree. So that means, look at that. These people, Kejriwals, must be connected with this tree.
Yeah.
And which means they are connected with the Vedic culture. Intimately
Yes.
connected. He will tell us. Kejriwal should tell us all about this Arani Mathanam and everything. Yeah. Is it not?
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Guruji, what
there-
was the other name you said? What, Shani? I couldn't get it.
Shami. Shami vrikshaha. Shamee. Shami vrikshaha. Or kejri or Indian mesquite. Mesquite. All right.
Guruji,
This
top,
is the
what is the
huh?
top called? The bottom is Adho
Adhoharani, and the top is called Uttararanihi. Uttararanihi. So here he is saying Pranamam cha Uttararanim. So he only says Uttarani. The first quarter of the mantra, Atmanam Aranim Krutva. That Arani is the bottom block, bottom Arani, bottom piece of wood. Okay. That's how the imagery is. Now he's saying, now that you know what an Arani is, he's saying Atmanam Aranim Kritva. Atmanam. So here Atma means oneself. That's all. Not Atma, Brahma, Atma. Oneself. One's own mind, one's own buddhi is the bottom block. One's own buddhi is the bottom block. Atmanam Aranim Kritva. Visualizing my own mind in the bottom block in this setup. All right. Then what? Then Pranavam cha Uttararanim. What about the top block? Top block, visualize the top block as the Pranava. Pranava. Pranava is a name given to Omkara. Pranava is a name given to Omkara. We're going to talk a lot about that right now. Okay, this mantra won't get over this class. We'll be spending a bit of time on this. Mathanam, that already Mathanam in this class also that Mathanam will be going on. Yeah. Pranavam cha Uttararanim. Let the Omkara be the top block and let me, my mind buddhi be the bottom block. Okay. Then this rope is there. It's not mentioned here, but rope. Now I'm going to use a rope to just move the Omkara mantra top block, and that rope is the Mahavakyam. That is the Shastram. Shastram is what helps me do the Shravanam and Mananam. So that's what is happening. I heard some things. Now I need to understand what is being said. Now I know a lot, and still I have some doubts. So the doubts have to be clarified by doing the Mathanam. Okay? This is the idea. This is the imagery. That's all. Nothing more about it. Nothing more about it. That's the imagery. That means what? Everything about Shravanam and Mananam, you bring it to this mantra. Everything about Shravanam and Mananam. Constantly, these classes are going on. That's what is happening. Agni Mathanam, Arani Mathanam is what is happening. And what should be the result of the Arani Mathanam? That also we saw in the video. The result. You should not ask what is after all the class. Guruji, I understood Arani Mathanam very well. But what is the use of the Arani Mathanam? What like that? If you ask, then I have to figure out which wall I should hit my head on. That's all. But that's okay. I'll repeat it once again, just in case somebody that concentration. WhatsApp is all just bleeping at you, and the phone is becoming bright and then dull and then bright and then dull. So I was watching yesterday. I was studying, and then I was looking at my book, but I could figure out that this phone became bright like this. The side vision is there. I could figure out, and I saw it. There was a message there. That's how it is. Our concentration. We have to protect our. I think we should have this. These horses. They put this thing. That eye, whatever you call it, and so
The
that the horse will not
blinders.
get distracted.
Blinkers.
The blinder. The blinder.
Blinders, blinkers. That you should have. I think I should also buy one thing, just
Goda
because
Lagan.
it helps. It helps. I think.
Goda
So,
Lagan.
yeah. So therefore, that is the result of this Agni Matanam. That Agni is knowledge. As far as we are concerned, fire is symbolized. Fire is the symbol for knowledge. Okay. And so this yajna, this is the symbology for the Shravanam and Mananam. All right. So I'm just thinking what to say and what not to say. That's why I'm pausing here. But Now we have to look into something. Pranava. See, pranava is a word. Prakashena nuyate iti pranavaha. There are two things. I have to start explaining a few things. Suppose I utter a word. Suppose I say pot. Immediately, you know what I am talking about. You heard a sound called pot, but you knew what I'm going to. You already know what I'm going to talk about, and the object has already come into your mind. The minute I uttered the word pot, the object has come into your mind. And when I say book, Bhagavad Gita book, then word has come into your mind. Kaivalya Upanishad book has come into entire text has come into your mind. At least you know what it refers to. When I say tree, it's very clear. That means what? Where the word and its meaning, they go together. They're always going together. We may not realize it, but it's always together. Okay? And that is why when somebody is talking like this, and that too constantly for an hour, and you are still able to sit and you can shake your head, why you're able to do it? You're able to do it because the assumption is whatever words are uttered, you're understanding the meaning immediately. Some words will be difficult to understand, understood, but in general, you know the English language first, and all the words being uttered are all just immediately understood. Sometimes you have to say, please repeat. Okay, why? Because either you missed hearing the word or you heard it, but can you explain what that is? Because the person who is uttering the word, that's why a good teacher will be always conscious of what he or she is saying and making sure, will my students understand what I'm saying? Because they are concerned about what the student is understanding. Their goal is to make sure these people leave the class only after understanding my subject matter. Until then, I am not going to rest content. I'm not here to finish a syllabus. This school, we've been going through schools and colleges where they want to finish off the syllabus. Oh boy, what pressure it is. And so fortunately now, we are not concerned about those kinds of things. All right. So a word and its meaning cannot be separated. That is why Kalidasa's famous shloka. Vagartha viva sampruptau vagartha pratipattaye. My God, Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Wow. He explains Parvati and Parameshwara as word and its meaning. They can never be separated. Now, what about a word like triglyceride? Suppose I say like that. Triglyceride, okay, tetraglycerolimphophide. Suppose I say that. Nothing happens to you because you don't know what tetraglycerolimphophide. You don't know what it is. You don't know. It's just a word, sound. It's just sound bites. That's all it is. So that's okay. We don't worry about that. We are talking about a word and its meaning, and they always go together. And you will say that, okay, I don't know the meaning of that word. That also goes along with that word. I don't know the meaning of the word. It goes along with the word. Correct? That conclusion goes along with the word. All right. And so, when I said you understood the meanings of all these words, that's why communication is constantly happening. Your mind is ready. Your mind is prepared. Your mind has some vocabulary, and I am using that vocabulary to introduce newer and newer concepts and words. Your mind is prepared. That's why you are able to follow what I'm saying. But suppose I talk like this to a young 1-year-old baby. 1-year-old baby is not going to follow what I'm saying. Why? Because, come on, Even just not start. You have to start writing letters. Okay, A, B, C, D. A for apple. All right. Now A for apple. This child, by the time it finishes alphabet, A for apple, B for boy, C for cat, everything's understood. Some preparation has happened. But then, in order to form sentences, a little more is required. I am going to school. Did you have lunch? Yes, I had lunch. To even frame that sentence, oh, how much preparation is needed? The teachers, you have to salute all the teachers who gave this thing. We take so much for granted, and now what? Now paragraphs, essays, and all, if you have to read and understand, it takes even more preparation. And then we studied so many formulas. Suppose I say speed is equal to distance divided by time. The average speed. What was the average speed when you drove from Bengaluru to Coimbatore? Means what? We took 6 hours and the distance is so many kilometers. So many kilometers divided by time is this much average speed, 60 kilometers per hour. Abba, to understand this, how much education is required? ABCD is required, then English language is required, and it's quite a bit. It has to come, and then that then puts you to something called social studies classes, then science class, and then physics class in the 7th, 8th grade. Just an example I'm giving, that's all. And then velocity, the word velocity comes. Until now, velocity is a meaningless word for me, and speed was there, then velocity. So much preparation is required to come to this point. So you can see every grade our mind is getting more and more prepared, more and more prepared, more and more prepared. And we struggle with some of the people whom we sponsor, we educate, and these people are coming from Tamil medium, they go to English medium schools, and then they get lost. Intelligent people get lost. It's very sad to see this. I don't know why our country is just ruining people's lives like this. I still don't understand. We have to just change the system. And we have to constantly ask them, did you follow what the economics teacher told you? Did you follow what the man? They are shy to ask us also. They are shy to tell us, no, I don't follow anything. If you tell me I don't follow anything, I'll get you the instructors. We'll pay you the money and get you the right tutors. But they are shy to even tell us. Anyway, so the mind has to be prepared.
They're not, Guruji,
Yeah.
they're not shy. They are scared to tell Guruji.
They're scared to tell. Look at that. They're scared to tell. Shy and scared. Sometimes shy also, scared also. Because what will I do? Maybe we will scold them. What is this? You don't follow.
That is one thing, Guruji. The teachers have internal marks in their hands.
Internal marks in their hands. Yeah. So all kinds of reasons are there. So why the mind has to be prepared in order to appreciate, enter a classroom and then understand what's going on. Mind has to be prepared to grasp everything the teacher is saying, and then the teacher is next raised me to another level, slightly higher level. Next class, another higher level. Like this, I keep on improving my mental capacity. All right. So that way, every class is properly understood, and the student is able to ask a question also. Why? Because, wait a minute, I didn't understand that. Can you repeat that? Can you explain that some more? Can you elaborate? You used 2 words, and these things, I didn't hear these words. You should introduce a word. When a teacher introduces a new word, the teacher should explain that word. That's why sometimes in a class like this, it's a little difficult to teach. You know why? There are beginners and then there are not beginners, not so beginners. People are there. And so there's a mix. Then this is a struggle. Constantly, I have to think. Are the beginners? They will find it difficult to understand. I have to maybe admit what I said just now. Some of you will find it difficult to understand. Don't worry, I have to say. So that I put you at ease. Otherwise, I know I went in and I didn't understand half the class. This idea will come. So, that right preparation is called samskaraha. Samskaraha means what? hey, whatever I have done in the past has got me to this point, and so my mind has that samskara to accept what you're saying, grasp what you're saying. Any class, doesn't matter, any subject, samskara is there. Okay. Now, suppose I hear the word Brahman. Do I have the samskara to understand what the word Brahman is? If I don't have the samskara, it is simply a word. Word which is waiting for me to understand it. It is waiting. Brahman is the most patient word, I think. And it keeps on waiting for us. It doesn't run away anywhere. Fortunately, everything is Brahman also, so it can't run away also. It is just trapped in this samsara, in this jagat. Okay. So, I need a samskara to appreciate what Brahman is, because Brahman is also a word. After all, it is a word, Brahman. And so, what is the preparation? Well, the preparation is the study of the Shastra. The way we have been studying the Shastra slowly, systematically, understanding word by word, understanding important concepts, karma onwards, karma phalam onwards, we talked about. Adhikari, we are talking about in Viveka Chudamani, he just finished explaining. Who is an Adhikari? Means who is ready for the Shastra? Whose mind has that samskara? What are the things that person should have? Viveka, Vairagyam, etc. That is the samskara. That if I have that kind of a samskara, then I can continue. I can sit in this class and then begin to appreciate the content. Okay, and so that samskara is gained by Shravanam Mananam again. Very interesting. Shravanam only gives me the samskara to do more Shravanam. That's what it is. And so here, that is why our Shastram always says, Paun of Punyera Shravanam Kuryat. One word, Shravanam, is what we latch on to. There are so many ideas, so many things are there. Okay, just hold on to Shravanam. Shravanam means what? Listening. Listening with the right mindset to somebody who knows the subject matter. That's it. Nothing else is needed. That's it. Should I sit properly and listen, or can I lie down like this and listen? If you can't sit down, lie down and listen. That's it. That's it. My back is aching. What can I do? If I sit more than 10 minutes, my excruciating pain in the back. If somebody says, yeah, lie down and listen. That's it. So all these rules just fall apart. All these rules we have learnt in class, everything. In this particular course, it all falls apart. In Shastra, Vedanta, falls apart. Yeah, if your alertness will come when you're sitting. If you lie down and listen, then we don't know what's going to happen. So that is a risk. So we tell people, don't lie down and all that. All right. Anyway, so Paun of Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. Paun of Punyena means again and again Shravanam Kuryat. May one do Shravanam again and again. Okay? And what will it do to me? Two kinds of things will happen. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Both are going on in my life in this journey. Karma Yogena, I will get maturity. I will get that Ishwararpana Buddhi I am going to get, and Prasada Buddhi I am going to get. I am going to become less and less a victim. I am going to be freer and freer from my Ragadveshas. Slowly that's happening. To a point where Ragadveshas are there. But I am now clear that I don't have to remove my Ragadveshas as long as I can know how to manage them. And many ragas and dveshas are gone also in the process. Okay, it has become too childish now for me, okay, to hang on to certain likes and dislikes. And so, raga dvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaicharam atma vashe vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. That's what has happened to me through Karma Yoga. What happened? Raga dvesha viyuktaihi indriyaihi Atmavashyaihi prasadam adhigacchati. So a person who Indriyais Charan, who is very much active in life, is not locked himself in a cave or a house, very active, and even that person, Ragadvesha Vyuktaihi, that person has become, he is endowed with Ragadvesha, but the Ragadveshas do not affect that person, do not burden that person. Vishayan Indriyais Charan Atmavashyaihi. It is why? Because Atmavashyaihi, those Indriyas are under that person's control. Okay. Prasadam adhigacchati. Prasadam here means tranquility, calmness. Calmness, not jnanam, it's calmness. Prasadam adhigacchati, gains calmness. And such a calm mind, that samskara is needed for Shastram. And so Karma Yoga, that calm mind, etc., comes through Karma Yoga. And through Jnana Yoga, I get the I get through the Shravanam, through Jnana Yoga, I get what? I get this reorientation happens. What reorientation? I am oriented towards Dvaita. Dvaita Vasana is very severe, deeply entrenched. Dvaita Vasana means I'm living in a duality world only. Everything is different only. And Shastram is going to say everything is essentially the same. Advaita Vasana. Look at this. One book says, Ishvara Anugrahadeva Pumsam Advaita Vasana. What a word it is, what a phrase it is. Means what? This Advaita Vasana, to even acknowledge, to even suspect that, yeah, Advaita must be true. That idea must be there. So even my mind must have some samskara to say, yes, I think the reality of the world is one. Without even listening to so many lectures, I should have that conviction. It's called Advaita Vasana. All right, from Purva Janma also I can have the Vasana, or from Shravanam and, in this life also I can have that Vasana. Advaita Vasana. So Jnana Yoga gives me Advaita Vasana. Karma Yoga gives me maturity of mind. Prasada Buddhi, Ishwararpana Buddhi. Amanitvam, Madam Vittam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, Acharyopasanam, Shaucham, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha, everything it's going to give me. Every day I'm changing. Every day I'm changing. And I'm building. My samskara is changing. Okay. So, why should I change my samskara like this? Because a word and the meaning are not different from each other. A pot I can understand, book, pen, pencil, tree, house, everything I can understand. The minute you utter the word, I can understand what you're saying. Shastram is saying, Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahma. There are also words. Sarvam also is a word. You can't say, I don't know Sanskrit. Having sat through all these classes, some Sanskrit, anybody will know at least a little bit of Sanskrit by now. That I think we can guarantee. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Even without coming to class, when the registration forms, they say Tattvamasi Mahavakyam and all. I ask them to write a few words about what you know about Vedanta. So you already know all these things. Then I've heard the word Brahma, but I really don't know what Brahma means. That's why that samskara is gained. And so, previously, the word Brahma, it is like writing on water. It's like writing on water. Writing disappears. Then it's like writing on sand. Swami Viditatnanda gives this example. I heard it once. Writing on sand. Writing on sand, it will stay for a little while, until it rains or if there is wind or something, it goes away. And then slowly it should be like what? It's writing on rock. It should be like writing on rock. What I understand must be like writing on rock. So that my understanding is rock solid. So that the teacher can tell the students, you're all rocking, my dear students. You're all rocking. Because your understanding is rock solid. Okay? And so that's how we want our journey to be. And So all that is because even in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नातो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा Ashwatthamenam suvirudamulam. This like the Ashwatha tree whose roots are just gone off somewhere, and the tree is here, but the roots are going somewhere there, far away from the tree. It is just deeply entrenched, embedded. My samsara also is like that. It is like that. The minute I turn off the class is over, that's it. That's it. That's it. So why that's it? Why should it not be otherwise? Means that's how it is. Everybody's life is like that. It's deeply intense. Even nuclear families, I'm telling you. Nuclear families means what? You and me, that's it. Maybe you and me and her and him or something like that. You have to do. That's it. 3% family. And so the samsara must be small, right? Those days, families of 7 people, 8 people, 10 people, children, everything, and then they are getting married, and then the whole network is huge. You look at the family tree, you have to turn your head from like this, and then it goes like this. And then my family tree, how it is? It's very, very small compared to the nuclear. But what about samsara? Their samsara and my samsara, is it supposed to be different in size? No, samsara doesn't vary in size at all, I think. I think it's the same for everybody. And so like this Ashwatha tree, everybody's samsara is like Ashwatha tree, and there Krishna says, Suvirudha Moolam. Hey, this is deeply entrenched, and how are you going to uproot it? That samsara has to be uprooted. So my mind has to gain all the samskaras needed. I have to loosen up a little. Come on, chill out, they say, chill out. So there is some chilling out that we have to do. The Shastram does the chilling out for us. And therefore, name and meaning is still there. Okay, that a lot of stories going on. And then, therefore, that name and meaning is so important. And name and meaning is important even for japa. Japa is all about name. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Same name of the two. Same word repeated. At least in a sentence, words are all different. There is a verb, there is a subject, there is predicate, there is interjection and preposition, and all these things are there. But here, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Same word, repeated again and again and again. Why? Again, to create the same samskara. To utter a word like this, I must have bhakti. I must have bhakti to Shiva. I must have bhakti to Devi. Om Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Saraswati Namaha. If I say, I must have bhakti. Bhakti is implied when I say that. And that bhakti I already got. Why? Because as a child I have listened to all these Upanyasas. I know Ramayana. Therefore, Rama Bhakti, I don't have to go and buy somewhere. Already there. With that bhakti, now I say Sri Ramachandraya Namaha. Ramaya Namaha. Ramaya Namaha. Ramaya Namaha. Now what happens? Now that bhakti is growing. The word Rama brings in the entire Ramayana, it brings into my head. Ramaha Vigrahavan Dharmaha, it brings into my head. So the more I chant Sri Rama's name, it will automatically make me a dharmic person. And I become stronger and stronger in the process. Alright. So name and its meaning. When I say Rama, the meaning of the word Rama is just comes rushing into my mind because of the samskaras I have. Okay. And so here also, Shastra was introducing a lot of new words. And Bhagavad Gita, every word, a lot of words are new. Lokesmin, Dvivida, Nishta, Pura, Prokta, Mayanaga. Everything is new. Even for the Sanskrit student, a Sanskrit person who has studied Sanskrit also, many words are new. Dvivida, Nishta, 2 types of lifestyles are there means what? That person may not know. Knowing Sanskrit is different from knowing the culture and knowing the tradition. So, like this, we are building ourselves up, and so this Arani Mathanam is an imagery to help us understand the process of sensitizing our mind through Shravanam and Mananam, so that we can understand the message of the Upanishads. And in the next class, we'll continue this discussion, okay, with an understanding of what pranava is. Today, what we studied was that omkara, because pranava is om, and so that om, the word om carries a lot of significance in our culture. We are going to look at it in the next class. It's just a sound symbol. It is not even a word. Today we've been talking about word and its meaning. This om is not even a word in any language. We're going to see the significance of all these things in the next class. So I'm just prepping you up with all this background. How important words are, and why this mantra is using pranava in this particular imagery. Okay, so many things can be said. And why pranava of all things? So all that we have to connect the dots. So, with that background, we will pause here. Atmanam aranim kritva pranamam sha uttaranim jnana nirmathana abhyasat pasham dahati pandita. You know the meanings of this mantra, it's already very clear. Jnana nirmathana abhyasat. By the practice of jnana nirmathanam, by practice of inquiry into the shastram and clearing all doubts, churning, keeping on asking questions, answering, and then asking some other question will come, and then that also gets answered like this. Nirmatana abhyasat pasham dahati panditaha. I'm going to see all that. All right, we'll pause with that. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaः Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
ధన్యవాదాలు.